Hello. It's been a few days since I did a diary, and I do apologise. I've had an exhausting few days. It's Friday oh gosh, what is the date today? 19th. Oh, sorry about that. 19th of March. And yeah, it's been a very exhausting few days. So I meant to give you a video on Wednesday and Thursday, but the day just got quite hectic. So I'll give you a little rundown of what's been happening. So on Wednesday, it was my non-working day, and actually me and Lily ended up sleeping quite a lot during the day, and I realised how exhausted I was. And I'm going to go back to the same thing. Your non-working day is not working. Being a mum is absolutely exhausting, and I hadn't really appreciated it, because when I'm at work, everything is instinct pretty much. I've been a doctor for quite a few, nearly 10 years now. And a lot of everything I'm doing is just things I've done before. But actually being a mum, there's new challenges, there's new sensations and sounds that you have to get used to. You're constantly alert. It's hard work mentally. Yeah. And then in the evening of that day, I managed to get to a webinar, a liver webinar, which again made me fall in love with doctoring and hepatology all over again. Thursday was actually quite a busy day. So it was my AMU day. So I was on the ward, but actually there were quite a few doctors seeing patients. So I ended up just offering some assessments to some of them. I was actually meant to be interviewed about medical education, so that's one of my interests for someone's podcast. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to, because she had to pick up her daughter from nursery due to a fever. And it made me realise that actually when my daughter starts going to nursery, these are the things I'm going to have to sort of think about. Luckily, my husband will probably be the first contact, I hope, because he'll be living quite close to home from the nursery, whereas I may not be able to get to my phone quickly. And I suspect this is happening a bit more with COVID. So, any fever, you have to, you worry, and you have to take them home. So, I really felt for her, actually. We've tried to do this podcast now for a good few times, but either my daughter's been teething or doing something, or her daughter's doing something. So I'm probably going to let her sort of tell me when she's ready, but I'm really excited to be able to talk about my journey of medical education. I did a master's and sort of got the degree March 2020. Obviously couldn't go to the graduation, but that's a really exciting bit of my life, I would say, and that's partly why I really enjoy doing the teaching. Yesterday I also took some doctors around for their PACES exam. So the PACES is a exam that doctors have to do who want to do general hospital medicine, and it recognises them as being part of that college and can work as registrars. And it took me back to my own exam back in 2015, and it's really just to say that the exams don't stop. And at the moment I'm trying to get in my revision for the gastro exam, and trying to do that with a baby is tough. So I'm really glad I've given myself a year. But I really love teaching, and it was really nice seeing patients with good signs, and it reminded me why I'm a doctor and why I could never give that up to be a house mum. I love seeing patients. I love providing and giving them help, and making them feel like they understand their condition. I love examining and seeing, I couldn't give it up. Today was a bit of a quieter day, so managed to sort of do a bit of revision this morning, and then went into Cheltenham, where I met one of the consultants, and we talked a little bit about my endoscopy training and what I was going to do with it. We had a really good conversation about all of that, and just for me, it's just reflecting on gastro is one of those specialities where there's so much you need to learn. And since being a mum, it feels even more. Going less than full time as a gastroenterology registrar is very difficult, because you need to fit in all your endoscopy, all your clinics, all the meetings you have to go to. There's just so much. And I do hope that once more women, we are getting more women into gastroenterology now, that less than full time will become more common, and the curriculum will have to change to deal with that, basically. It made me realise that you can't do everything either. So I'm at the moment trying to make a decision about whether to drop colonoscopy in favour of a more advanced endoscopic procedure that looks at the biliary, the bile ducts to remove stones and things like that. So it's quite an exciting time for me at the moment. I know I want to do liver, so this would fit in really nicely. So I'm actually doing an A&E shift tomorrow. I haven't really done any on-calls or anything yet, so I know I'll feel really supported, but I think that'll be an interesting reflection, seeing patients, possibly seeing some COVID, who knows what will come through the door, and just being sort of properly clinical. So I'm quite excited about that, actually. So I promise to provide you an update about that tomorrow after work. It's an 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. shift, so we'll see how it all goes. But until then, I'll see you again. Bye bye.